Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Ravishing review. Today we are taking a look at the WCW World Tag Team Championship match from WWF Unforgiven 2001 between the champions, the Brothers of Destruction, which would be The Undertaker and Kane, taking on the challengers Kronik, which would be Brian Adams and Brian Clark. Meltzer gave this a -2 star rating out of 5, which is why it piqued my interest at first. So let's jump right in. Steven Richards blames The Undertaker for disbanding the right to censor. So he calls him out on an episode of SmackDown. Undertaker comes out, starts stalking him up the ramp, and then we get Kronik coming in. They kick over his motorcycle, beat him down. Kane is not in the building, so he can't come out to make the save. Fast forward to Raw right now. In the timeline, they are both the WWF and the WCW Tag Team Champions. They defend their WWF titles against the Dudleys. Kronik cost them the match, kind of setting everything in motion for this match. So to the match, it's a slugfest on the outside to start. Taker and Adams in the ring, and Adams poorly selling a big boot. It's going to be a theme. Taker dominating, tags Kane back in, and he dominates. This is very one-sided to start the contest. Adams reverses momentum, tries to hit a backbreaker, but it doesn't quite connect. Kane doesn't hit the need to execute the backbreaker. Adams tags Clark, and he is all over Kane with various kicks, strikes. Obviously, he is the more athletic out of the two members of Kronik. Kane hits a weak shoulder breaker, tags Taker back in. Taker hits old school, then locks in an armbar. Adams breaks it up, which gives Clark time to tag him in. Adams drops kicks Taker, but it's only to his stomach. And Brian Adams, I've always been on the hate train for Brian Adams. Unathletic, very clunky in the ring. Even when he was in WCW, same thing. There's no growth. There's no improvement. It's the same thing for years. Taker is clothesline to the outside, pulls Adams with him. He whips him into the ring post, and this is the crappiest looking Irish whip into the ring post I've ever seen. I don't know what happened with this spot in particular. It was not there. Clark gets a shoulder tackle off the apron. Back in the ring, Kronik hit a double team shoulder tackle on The Undertaker for a near fall. Adams then has a headlock in for a solid minute. I clocked it. And then I went back and I clocked it again. Both times was over a minute. Taker hits a DDT off of the ropes, gets the hot tag to Kane. Big boots to both men, with Adams no-selling it per par for the course of this matchup. Double teaming splashes from Brothers of Destruction lead to a chokeslam attempt from The Undertaker. Steven Richards interferes, only prolonging the finish at this point. Eventually, Taker does hit the chokeslam on Brian Clark, getting the win for their team. Post-match, Richards goes to hit The Undertaker with a chair, but he turns and sees him. So Steven Richards, walking backwards, walks right back into Kane. He's doing the feeling like he doesn't know what's behind him. Kane with the chokeslam, send the fans happy. I'm giving it no stars out of 5. I don't agree with Meltzer's analysis, and that's just not because I don't give negative ratings. I just don't think this one really earned the negative rating. I don't think it was good. Don't get me wrong. Nothing clicked. There was no match flow. Kronik looked uncomfortable at times. Kane and The Undertaker not timing set pieces up properly. Brian Adams already went on my small tangent, but he is putrid. Not that he's ever been a stellar in-ring technician, but no selling, just all over the place. The times he doesn't sell enough, i.e. the big boot at the very beginning of the match, just didn't sell enough. On top of Kronik being awarded the worst tag team in 2000 and 2001 by the Wrestling Observer News, they named this match the worst worked match of 2001. WCW was still in business in 2001, yet this was the worst worked match. Either way, Kane and The Undertaker were very unhappy with the match due to multiple mistakes, which led WWF to attempt to send both members of Kronik down to developmental. Clark refused. WWF released him, citing him being unconditioned and unsafe. Adams, however, went to developmental for about a month and a half before requesting his release and receiving it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Check out our social media links in the description below. Be sure to tune into the PWO WrestleCast, the premier professional wrestling podcast, every Monday, live at 7 p.m. on Facebook. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time for another Ravishing review.